Yuma is still that intersection that leads them in one state and out another.
Yuma is the end of the road for I-8 before it crosses into California. You might think Yuma and think of its desert dunes, the territorial prison, or its rich farming community.
It's in a constant stage of metamorphosis. It's always the chrysalis ready to become the butterfly.
Now, wine and artists are spreading their wings.
Hi, I'm Jan Bentley. Welcome to Colorado River Pottery.
Inside this Yuma gallery, you'll find art for every day.
I love that people come in and tell me they have a mug they bought from me and they use it every day and they love it. I tend to be, I think, influenced by the desert. It's hard not to be when you live in Yuma. And so some of the colors are based on things that I see when I drive to work every day. The agriculture fields, the mountains.
Most of the work is done on the wheel, using equal pressure on both sides of her hands. Jan works her way up the clay.
And now that I have it really round, I like to play with it a little bit and put the human touch. You better stand back because it's a little warm yet. All they need to do now is to just finish cooling.
Once cooled and removed from the kiln, these pieces will be ready to sell and ready to add a special touch to your daily life.
It was the place to meet and greet, and that's where you...
Art Everett is a Yuma historian.
This is a picture of Main Street, 1935. Yuma was the place to be, the place to shop. All the people from the outlying communities would come here on Friday and especially Saturday to buy their goods. In that same era, people were coming from California to get married in Yuma, so Yuma was the marrying capital of the Southwest.
Now, there are all kinds of new businesses breathing new life into Main Street.
We are in the Old Town Wine Cellar here in Old Town, Yuma, Arizona. A lot of domestic wines, primarily from California and Oregon and Washington, but also wines from France, Italy, South America, Germany, New Zealand, Australia, anywhere that makes good wine, we've got it. I was a dedicated amateur for many, many years. I've just really enjoyed wine. I enjoyed, obviously drinking it, but I enjoyed learning about it. People ask me, how did you learn so much about wine? Well, I tried a lot of different wines. This is the golden age of wine. I don't know if people realize it, but we can drink so many different great kinds of wine from so many different places that historically people were pretty much limited to whatever wine was made near where they lived. That's what they drank. Now we've got amazing options. A lot of people are somewhat amazed that, wow, a store like this in Yuma. Yuma's not a one-dimensional kind of place. We've got all kinds of interesting people. Stop by, stop here in Old Town and check out our wine cellars and a lot of the other great things we have down here in Old Town. It's the last stop off the freeway before you get to California.
There are also a few nods to Yuma's past, like a tour by steamboat.
What you're going to see on this is some pretty country up in here. We're presently on Ferguson Lake, Lake Ferguson, and it's the second and largest backwater lake along the river. And there's literally hundreds of backwater lakes along the river down in this area. Once we get down into Lake Martinez, we'll shut the engines down and turn on some soft dinner music, have dinner, and normally have a spectacular sunset out on Lake Martinez.
Did you ever think you could take a sunset cruise in Arizona?
Come on down and take a look at Yuma and you'll be surprised at what you see.
It's hard to top an Arizona sunset, especially when it's over water. Now, one site you don't want to miss is the Yuma Territorial Prison. It opened in 1876 on the Twin Hill across from the fort and remained in operation until 1909. It is now the main attraction at Arizona's most visited state historic park. Arizona Highways Television is brought to you by Arizona Public Service and the Arizona Office of Tourism.